That game felt so real. Like I was really breaking into government servers somewhere and discovering something that I wasn't supposed to. I guess that's who I was always meant to be. The troublemaker that doesn't know when to stop. Just like my dad. My name is William Bowman. Joseph Bowman was my father. We still got a lot of work to do. I'll see you really soon.
Become nothing but memory. I know that I was never dead to you.
What's going on, YouTube? It's Reese the Neat here, aka Big Reese 75, and this is my honest review of Call of Duty Black Ops Cold War. So basically how I feel about the game overall, I'm going to give you my consensus of it, is a 7 out of 10. And the reason it's a 7 out of 10 is because it's missing way too many factors to be called a next-gen game, as well as the predecessor to Modern Warfare 2019. Now, the reasoning for that is basically because it's missing too many components to be called a predecessor to another game of the year before. There's too many features missing, the graphics aren't as good, the gameplay's really choppy, but that's pretty much it. Everything else is actually perfect and spot on in my opinion. So I'm not really going to focus on the graphical elements because it's a beta. Maybe there could be textures down in the game. Not going to focus on too many other errors because as a new game coming out, there's always going to be issues with it. What I am going to talk about is the actual gameplay aspects. So as you can see on the screen here, the leveling is back to the normal prestige standards. Prestige being you level up to at least level 50, 55, and then you prestige, and then you start over, and you go up 12 times usually. Sometimes they can add more later on as the game cycle continues. But this is a welcome re-addition that should have never been removed to the game, and I'm happy to have it back. It's kind of a standard staple to play in multiplayer in Call of Duty. It seems like the unlocks here are pretty set in stone, but I'm kind of confused as to why some of them are where they are. Some guns shouldn't be as high up in the levels as they are, but I'm gonna leave that to their creativity. That's fine, it's whatever. Now the score streaks are pretty good. Obviously there's gonna be a few more added in the full game, and my favorite one to utilize was the artillery barrage. It was nice and easy to get. The score streak system makes it to where you can get it after maybe a minute or so after you use it, and it's pretty strong. The chopper gunner was fun, the attack copter was pretty consistent throughout, and it was fun actually riding around in the attack helicopter and dirty bomb. And you could also run around in the chopper gunner too. It's pretty entertaining, but all in all the streaks are pretty good. I like the new streak system. Being able to keep your streaks even when you die is obviously pretty different than what we're used to, but World War II had it, and it worked out pretty good with the resupply or whatever that perk or addition was added that lets you keep it. It made the game pretty annoying at times, but I feel like they did it a little better this time. You got to get a lot more kills to get the high tier streaks. Alright, so now we're going to talk about the game modes. First off, VIP. It's basically search and destroy and bomb play mixed together. But this time it's the VIP getting to two different objectives. So some of the maps are too big for VIP in my opinion. But they work because the machines, the snow machines, the motorcycles, kind of make it easier to traverse to the other side of the map if somehow you missed where the VIP is going. I like that you can revive each other. That's pretty cool and makes for a whole nother element. Yeah, overall, I don't think I'll play it too much, but it's a nice novelty game mode to enjoy. Then, obviously, you got Domination, TDM, Kill Confirm, the basic game modes. They play pretty well. It's nice that the Treyarch is actually listening because they increased the count of TDM from 75 to 100 in the beta. So that's showing that they may actually be watching to see what is the best counts for those. I think Kill Confirm should be 100. Granted, some of the maps are too big for it to be 100 for the score limit, but I just feel like it should be. Sometimes you want matches to go on for a little longer, sometimes you don't. Okay, so then Fire Team, the game mode right here, Dirty Bomb, is probably the most unique one of everything, mainly because of the way it's played. It's 10 teams of 4. You got multiple bombs on the map that you got to plant and then blow up. Anyone can plant them, anyone can blow them up. You get points for doing both processes. You have tanks, snow machines, motorcycles, everything in a way just to cause even more chaos. You got streaks you can rain down on people. And I think it's a pretty good game mode. It's not really Battle Royale per se. It's more like a large-scale fighting type of thing. Now, we also have Fire Team Assault and Domination. Those two aren't really as popular from what I'm seeing, but they're still pretty fun to play. I don't really like Domination for it, but I do like Assault. Assault literally brings you straight to the action. You have to go to the objective. You have to rush. If you don't, you're screwed. So basically, I think out of everything so far, my favorite was Fire Team Dirty Bomb, just because of the different elements to the gameplay. As you can see, I'm sitting there running people over. You don't have to just be stuck to one area of the map. You can kind of run around and be silly, focus on the objective. It can get serious at certain moments. Have you seen my other videos recently where you're literally down on the wire, and if you want to win, you got to do it just right, otherwise you're screwed. So yeah, there's that. Alright, we've talked about the different game modes. Let's talk about the maps. So, for the maps, basically, oh god, I'm just harassing these guys. This is horrible. Okay, so this map right here, Fire Team has 2 special maps. It has Ruka, I believe, and Alpine. One snowy, has a lot of terrain to traverse, a lot of different mountainous regions, a lot of housings throughout. But for the most part, I think the main action happens towards the middle, towards the lodge and stuff. That's where you see a lot of people engaging. Then occasionally you see a few engagements around the outskirts of the mountains. Alpines is fun. I like that there's different outposts. They have different environments. Some more buildingness, some more of wide open terrain, and they lead to different gunfights. The tanks occasionally spawn. You can have helicopters going crazy on you. Alright, so besides Fire Team, we got Assault and Domination's Armada and Cartel. Armada, Cartel, and Crossroads. So Crossroads is another snowy map that's a bit structured differently. I don't really like it. It's too wide open. It's basically a sniper's paradise, which means other people might like it a lot better. But basically with Armada, it's 3 boats. All kind of skewed from each other. You have to fight between them. You have ways to repel to the boats. It's pretty cool, but not really a fan of it. It's fun to do just for the novelty of being on a boat fight. It makes you feel like a whole pirate jumping in, taking over areas and stuff. Again, Assault works really good for that map. I feel like you get a lot more aggressive on it. Alright, so we're off of the large scale maps. Let's go down to the smaller ones. Satellite is probably the best map out of all of them. I love it. The sand dunes, the middle of the map with Crash plane. It's just, what's that? Crash Satellite, whatever you want to call it. It's just awesome. It gives a good vibe. There's a lot of different combat opportunities. I just wish that some of the map was pushed in a little bit. It was just a little smaller. This map, Moscow, is my second favorite. It gives me an old Call of Duty-esque vibe from like Black Ops 2. Basically, it has nice range areas. Then it has the nice middle section that has about 2 to 3 lanes to go through and traverse. There's a few outskirts that I don't think needed to be in it, but they're utilized pretty nicely, so I can accept it. Then Miami. Miami is probably the worst map in the alpha and the beta. You cannot see anything. I swear it is so hard to visualize the enemies in there because of all the vehicles and the lights. They're oversaturated. They really need to do something about the back spawn areas because when you spawn, you will literally be pushed to the back of the map away from the action. Even after the beta, when they say they were going to fix it, it's still not working. We're still not in the combat People hide in the most ridiculous spaces. They really need to push that map in some. It's too big for what it's supposed to be. Alright, am I missing anything? Cartel. Cartel is another map that was added in. And I like it just for the fact that it's a nice style. It has the long range mountainous type area on the side. And then it has the inner corridor housings. And then it has the nice middle where it has a slope down that you can fight in and a nice tower. But the problem that's very obvious when you walk into it is there's bushes about the size of a human being all through the middle of the map. And literally I have people sliding through like they're freaking Rambo, just ducking and diving. You can't see them. They could be standing up looking at you and then all of a sudden you're dead. So hopefully they fix the bushes. I doubt they will. I feel like that's one of their main elements in the game. So here's to wishing they could adjust it maybe. I doubt it though. Alright, so another thing I would like to talk about, the weapons. I don't really care for long range weapons. I usually just use shotguns in Call of Duty religiously. But I actually tried out all the guns, and here's my opinion on most of them. The SMGs are pretty solid. I feel like you're able to run and gun pretty good like I am with the MP5. The assault rifles have a good range to mid and long. The combat's pretty good with them. LMGs tear people down piece by piece for the most part. You may get a few shoddy hits from long range, but for the most part, the RPD did a good job with its damage ratio, and the Stoner had good fire rate. Snipers are god awful overpowered as always. Every Call of Duty, they have to have something going on with them. This time, I just feel like every time I look down a hallway, I'm just screwed if I see that glint. There's nothing you can do, you're done. Okay, so also, what you really would think would be the most overpowered thing in this game would be stuff like the AK, the obvious assault rifles, but it seems like the SMGs have the meta here. The Uzi is, well, the Milano is probably one of the most overpowered guns. It knocks people in 3 shots. The Spaz, the second shotgun in the game, literally decimates people. Like, it just decimates people. Like, in 3 shots, long ranges, mid ranges, it doesn't even matter. They're just gone. So I'll say this much. I'm seeing a lot of metas that I hope they try to edit and make the guns a bit more balanced. But if not, they might as well just make everything else overpowered to match it. Alright, so that's pretty much how I feel about the weapons. Now, campaign is going to be the most important thing to me because I'm going to play it all the way through in a series. As you see by the beginning clip, they're slowly leaking more and more of the campaign story. So expect me to be taking part in the Pawn Takes Pawn website and trying to see what footage I can surmise from it to make a nice clip before the game comes out on what I think of the coming story. But that's about it, folks. I'm excited for zombies. Obviously, they're not going to spoil zombies. They're not going to show us anything on it whatsoever. But from what I'm seeing, zombies is going back to its roots. But at the same time, they have a few changes to show us to it. We got Juggernaut back. Of course, I'm happy with that being back. What's the point of me getting the Juggernaut fridge from Black Ops 3 if this wasn't going to be a staple for a while? So that's back. That also means that other perks are back too, and the gameplay style should be back to normal. But I'm hearing interesting things that I may do in a video soon about changes coming to zombies. And I'm not sure how to feel about them, but hopefully they work out. But yeah, folks, it was nice doing this review. It's taken me a while to get to it, and my bad. But, I mean, I'm back to posting like usual. I'm not going to be taking no month-long hiatuses anymore. And hopefully when the PS5 comes out, I can bring even more content with you. I'm also going to be doing other games. Expect Sirius's to be coming through when Dying Light comes out next year. I don't know. Games like Cyberpunk, God of War and stuff kind of interest me, but I gotta get a hold of them first before I see if I'm going to actually do any videos on them. But yeah, expect more videos coming soon, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.
One, yeah, ay. You getting sun, yeah, ay. Then you get sun, you will be nothing but ashes when we get done. Unleashing the monster, you should know better, it's nothing but clockwork.